At the turn of the new millennium, an estimated 1 billion people in the world were poor, living in life-threatening environment and situations that limit full human development. These conditions have been the root of many problems in the world. In 2000, 189 member states of the United Nations signed the historical Millennium Declaration, giving birth to a set of concrete and measurable development objectives known as the Millennium Development Goals. Since then, many poor countries have achieved remarkable development. However, progress has remained uneven throughout the world, and without intensified efforts, several of the MDGs are likely to be missed in many countries. The Philippines is the only country in Southeast Asia where the absolute number of poor people has increased since 1990, from 28.1 million to a projection of about 30 million in 2010. And even though it has made considerable progress in meeting some of the MDG targets, there are still those lagging behind, if not in danger of a reversal, owing to a confluence of reasons such as poor governance, environmental threats, armed conflict, or failure of service delivery to meet the rising demands of an ever-increasing population. All of the MDGs are interrelated, and sustaining hard-won gains will eventually be hampered if we do not make progress on others. This becomes the challenge for our nation today. How do we keep to our commitment with only 5 years remaining?
The Philippines is doing its best in achieving the targets, but at this point in time, the results are really mixed. I think we've achieved the targets and even better the targets. Child mortality rates, for instance, environmental sustainability, reducing the prevalence of diseases. On the other hand, I think we are lagging behind insofar as education, participation, completion rates are concerned. I think we have learned the lessons from the past, and the best practices of the different national government agencies and the local government units are now being replicated. Basically, it's convergence. So right now, we're looking at DSWD, conditional cash transfers, interagency, DepEd, DOH, DILG, DSWD, to achieve a general improvement in so far as the MDGs are concerned. We have also looked at best practices in the different localities. By making this a community action instead of just an agency action, we'll be able to achieve the outcomes.
Every child has the right to be educated, but it seems like this right has turned into a privilege in many poor areas. About 5.2 Filipino school-aged children are out of school.
I think it should be addressed in terms of putting in more resources. The more money we put in, I suppose the better outcomes we have. But I guess it requires not just inputs coming from the government, but inputs coming from the community as well. In the case of Naga City, we continued with a program that provides incentives to parents and school children for every day that they attend school. In exchange, school fees are subsidized.
A community's cooperation is crucial to the campaign for the increase in school participation in any city.
Well, when we started out in Marikina, the classrooms were quite full. So there was a lot of students per classroom, and then we lacked teachers. We didn't have enough facilities. So I started a massive build-up of classrooms in schools. And we were campaigning for free education, so parents didn't have to pay.
The city of Marikina has become a city of second chances. The city is currently sponsoring education for adults and out-of-school youth, giving its scholars more job opportunities. The Alternative Learning System, or ALS, is a program created to conduct lessons for adults and out-of-school youths who need diplomas to pursue higher learning. Novelito Fuentes is an orphan who was raised by his aunt in Aklan. He stopped attending elementary school when he was 10 years old and found a job at a construction site.
Hindi ako nakapag-aral, ay pumasok lang ako sa construction. Sumasama lang ako minsan sa mga klase ko. Kahit nga hindi ako pumapasok. Hinihintay lang sila sa gate.
Araw-araw, pagpasok mo dito, meron magbibigay sa'yo ng pamasahe. After na ng klase natin ha, sa Monday,
Gusto mo pagtapos sa pag-aaral, gusto ko paglaki ko, makatulong ako sa aking mga kapatid. Kapag makapamilya na ako, gusto nang tulungan.
number 2, Jenny. Jenny. Lahat kayo sumagot. Meron kaming essay. Sinusulat nila doon yung mga gusto nila. Bakit gusto mong mag-aaral muli? Kasi nilalagay nila. Kasi gusto nila makapagtrabaho ng ayos. Kung makakapag-aaral sila, matutupad yun. So alam namin na gusto na rin nila talaga mag-aaral. Ma'am, graduate na ako ng ganitong course. Magtatrabaho ako sa ganyan. Nakakasarap pakinggan na yung mga taong natulungan mo, nandyan, successful na.